What the FCK is magnificent. The middle-aged woman said angrily. I tell you, Isabella, our family of 3 will never allow you to marry Carden. If you still recognize our family, you will have your child's abortion and broke up with that Carden completely, but if you dare to leave this house today, the 3 of us will cut off all relations with you, and you will be cut off from our family from now on. The middle-aged man said coldly. You have heard what your mother said. What your mother said is what your brother thinks. If you want to go out of this door today, you should make your own decisions. Go out and never come back again. The young woman cried and said, Dad, Mom, and Xiaofeng, are you trying to force me to death? Even if you don't love me, you have to love the child in my stomach? The young man said, Sister, do you want such a love? You are only 2 months pregnant. What kind of child is in your belly? Isn't it just a fertilized egg? When Claire heard this, she sighed, and said, It is my high school classmates who are talking. It seems that their family does not want her to marry today. Charlie nodded. I heard it. Her younger brother is waiting for her gift money to buy a house. In his eyes, his sister is his cash cow. How could he just let her go in vain? At this time, the insults upstairs had escalated. The middle-aged woman scolded angrily. Why did I give birth to a money-losing girl like you? I worked so hard to support you to study and go to college. You haven't made money for your family for 2 years, so you rushed to give birth to others. My child, I knew you were such an unconscionable thing. When you were born, you should have been thrown away. The young woman cried and said, Mom, I went to college and relied on student loans. I still repay the loan. At that time, you didn't want me to go to college. You wanted me to marry as soon as I was 18. Said that the earlier a girl marries, the more valuable it is. I tried my best to get admitted to the university. You still didn't let me go to school. You almost tore up my admission letter and threatened me that if I went to university, you wouldn't pay me a cent for living expenses. These things have you forgotten? Now you say you worked so hard to provide me for college. Have you provided me a penny? The middle-aged woman scolded angrily. The old lady gave birth to you to be the greatest favor to you. You don't know how to be grateful, and you're still clamoring with me here, turning you back. The young woman cried and said, I don't want to yell at you, I just want to reason with you. The 4 years I was in college were not easy. All my living expenses had to rely on me to work and make money. But I am a girl who is not in good health and often gets sick. The little money earned by working is not enough. In school, if it weren't for Carden, who had been helping me take care of myself, I might not have been able to graduate from college at all. I might have starved to death. Carden knew about my family situation at that time, but he never disliked me, so as long as he is willing to marry, I am willing to marry. Even if there is no gift of a penny, I am still willing to marry. The middle-aged man scolded, You bastard, do you think the bride price is for you to decide? Do you think the bride price is for you? The bride price is for your brother to buy a house. Your brother will marry a wife and give birth. My child, this money will depend on the inheritance of our old Jones family. If you don't have a penny and you just marry like this, wouldn't you want to drive your mother and me to death? The young girl stubbornly said, No matter what, I will marry Carden today, even if I take a taxi to Orus Hill to marry him, or even walk to marry him, I will marry. There was a crisp sound. The middle-aged man scolded angrily, I will kill you, shameless loser. You patted your boo.tt and left, leaving our family of 3 here. We are just a 30-year-old house. Your brother can marry and have children? When Claire heard that he had started upstairs, he immediately pulled Charlie and said, Let's go over quickly. Originally, Claire felt that it was indeed inappropriate for this family of 4 to argue about themselves as an outsider at home, and now it is somewhat embarrassing to go upstairs. But when she heard the hands upstairs, she didn't care about it. The couple rushed to the 5th floor, and Claire immediately slapped the door of 501. After a while, a wicked young man opened the door and looked at Claire and Charlie vigilantly. Who are you looking for? Claire said, Are you Xiaofeng? I'm Claire, your sister's high school classmate, do you remember me? Upon hearing this, the ailing young man immediately said in surprise, Oh, it's Claire. Of course I remember you. Claire, I haven't seen you in a few years, you are more beautiful than before. Charlie saw that this kid saw his wife's eyes full of scorching heat, and he was a little dissatisfied. He asked Claire, "Wife, who is this little brother?" Claire introduced, "This is Xiaofeng, the brother of classmate Isabella." After speaking, he introduced Xiaofeng. "Xiaofeng, this is my husband Charlie." "Husband?" Xiaofeng asked in surprise. "Sister Claire, are you married?" Claire nodded and smiled. "I have been married for more than 3 years." "Where is your sister? Is she at home?" At this moment, a girl with red 5 fingerprints on her face came over, pretending to smile and said, "You are here so early. This girl is also pretty and has a good figure. She can definitely be regarded as the upper middle class. It's just that the girl is wearing a very cheap wedding dress, and it can even be seen that the lace part of the wedding dress is a little off." A man and a woman walked out of the room again. The couple looked like they were in their early 50s with a cold expression. Looking at Claire, they asked Isabella, "Who are these 2 people? They came here for what? What are they doing?" Isabella said, "Claire is my high school classmate. She has been to our house before, but you 2 may have forgotten." Claire said politely, "Hello, Aunt and Uncle. By the way, I haven't introduced yet. This is my husband Charlie."